live. Let me check the mic here. Hopefully we can all hear me. We're live Saturday, October 25th. We are 6 days away from Halloween. If you celebrate that and you're excited for that, we got college football on today, a big college football day. A couple big matchups in the morning. We got UFC on right now. If you like UFC, we got a pretty big one in the UFC World, a championship fight tonight. So UFC 321 in Abu Dhabi, I think, or Dubai. Abu Dhabi or Dubai, one of those. But here we are, answering questions for the next hour or so. We'll be live again tomorrow, just so you guys know. And the only thing I ask of you guys is hit that like button for us. Hit the like button for us. That's all we ask. It helps get eyes on the video. That is all we ask from you. And we're just going to jump right into it here. Sorry, I'm just setting up something here. There we go. Just hitting that like button here. Jeff, how's it going? Tez Johnson, Booty, Born, Worthy, need to full PPR. I think we talked about this yesterday, Jeff, right? If it wasn't you, it was someone very similar, a very similar group of guys. So you also have Scary Terry, right? So Terry McLaurin. I mean, Terry McLaurin's the best wide receiver out of all these guys, right? And sometimes fantasy is as simple as like just go with the best player, right? And like if it doesn't work out, I think you're more upset when you bench the better player and they go off, right? I think that upsets us a little bit more. That makes us a little bit more sad. But McLaurin is coming off an injury, okay? He is practicing and stuff like that, but he is coming off an injury. He still might be questionable, though, right? I guess they're going to be practicing today, and we'll have a better idea. If he is truly questionable, I don't think you can really wait for him. I guess you do have a Worthy that you can pivot to here, but let's just say McLaurin was out of the picture. Let's just say from these group of guys here, Tez Johnson, Booty, Born, and Worthy, right? I think out of those four guys, I go Tez Johnson and Xavier Worthy. Those are my two that I go there. I don't mind Born. But Houston's a tough matchup. And stuff like that, I still don't mind Born. I know they're getting San Francisco is getting a little bit more healthy, but we saw a 2 for 14 game from Born, so he's a risk. I think I go Tez Johnson and Worthy because it's the two best offenses here, and so I think that's why I go that. Now, if I were going to start Terry McLaurin, I think I would start him over Tez Johnson personally. If I were going to do that. So that's completely up to you. It's a little bit nerve-wracking. He hasn't played since September 21st, and he hasn't actually been that good this year, right? Terry McLaurin. And they have Marcus Mariota. I think the Chiefs' defense is legit. I think I lean Tez Johnson and Xavier Worthy there. So where are we at with Worthy? Like, are we worried about him? I mean, I know he hasn't been great and stuff like that, but he had a touchdown. He obviously missed the first game of the year, came back, had 5 for 83, and then 38 on the ground, then had 6 for 42 and 9. So he had 51 total yards. So he had 101 total yards with 5 catches, 50 total yards with 6 catches, 26 total yards with 2 catches and a touchdown, and then 50 total yards with 3 catches. So they're going to use him in the ground game. He's kind of ramping back up to a decent amount of snap share. Like he's playing around 75%. So I'm fine with Worthy and starting him. So rate the squad 12-team full PPR. Jaden Daniels, Jackson Dart, Judkins, Rachaad White. Chase Brown, Breece Hall, Charbonnet, Harvey, Henderson. Man, that running back room had so much potential at the beginning of the year. If you told me you had Judkins, Chase Brown, Breece Hall, RJ Harvey, Travion Henderson, I'd be like, man, you have a stacked running back room. And then we fast forward, a month and a half, and And it's like Chase Brown, Brees Hall, Henderson bust, RJ Harvey bust. Judkins is the best. Judkins was probably the one you're most worried about in that group, and he's the best one. Crazy how fantasy football just kind of changes things, right? Things change. JSN, CD Lamb, Igbuka. I think you have a solid team here. You just need some of your guys to perform. Like Brees Hall hasn't been performing. He might miss this week. Brees Hall's had games, but like he's been overall, I would say he's been overall a disappointment, right? Overall, he's been a disappointment. He's RB 19 on the year, RB 25 in points per game. So he's definitely been a big disappointment. He might miss this week. Henderson is unstartable. Harvey's unstartable. I mean, you're rolling with Judkins, Rachaad White for now. Obviously, JSN, CD Lamb, Buka. You're starting at wide receiver. I think you have a solid team. It's going to be tough to really trade guys because, like, the only guy I think you could trade that I would want to trade is probably Judkins. I don't think you're going to get appropriate value for guys like Chase Brown and Brees Hall and Henderson. I don't want to trade JSN, CeeDee Lamb, and Ibuka. That's like my bread and butter right there. Maybe Jaden Daniels. Maybe you try and trade Jaden Daniels, but if it's a one quarterback league, you probably don't. You probably don't have a lot to play with there. Like a lot of people don't want to trade for quarterbacks in a one QB league, but if you can get something for Jaden Daniels, like a starting running back, I think I would do it, and then just like roll with Dart and whatever other quarterbacks on the waiver wire as your second QB. So I think that's the move that you make there. Maybe you trade. I don't mind trading high on Judkins. Like I would have traded high on him after the Miami game potentially, because everyone looks good against Miami. But maybe if you could still get the trade done. I know a lot of leagues like they have a wait period once a trade goes through. I think that's stupid. Like why when a trade goes through, why do we have to wait 2 days for it to finally go through? It's just like let it go through. That's how my leagues are anyways. So if you guys are interested, by the way, in joining one of my leagues, either Dynasty or Redraft for next year, join our Discord. We got 4 listener leagues, 3 Dynasty, 1 Redraft this year. Join it, get into one. We will definitely be doing multiple Dynasty startups with our listeners if we can this offseason. So if you're new and you've never played Dynasty, well, we're the perfect people to start with because we'll kind of, I'll help you and guide you through and how to play. Dynasty is a lot of fun. Start 2, running back 1, flex, full PPR, Chase Brown, Brees. So you said Chase Brown there twice. Is that right there, Akshay? Do you need someone else instead of Chase Brown again? Let me know. But so it's Chase Brown, Brees Hall, Judkins, Brashard Smith-Mooney. I mean, it's Brees and Judkins at the running back position if Brees plays. If Brees doesn't play, then it's Chase Brown. And then Brashard Smith versus Mooney is an interesting one. I probably still go Mooney, but it's pretty close because there's a good chance Brashard Smith has more catches than Mooney, right? Mooney could have 3 or 4 catches. Brashard Smith could have, 5 like he did last week. He's had at least three and 4 straight games. So, yeah, I probably go Mooney over Brashard Smith, but I'm starting Brees Hall, Chase Brown, Brees, Judkins. You have Rachaad White for that Chase Brown question. Okay, so then it's Rachaad White. Okay, so you have Chase Brown, Brees Hall, Rachaad White, Judkins, Brashard Smith, and Mooney. You need 2 running. Let's start with the running backs. You need 2 running backs. I am starting Judkins and Rachaad White at the running back positions. And then I'm flexing Brees Hall. If Brees Hall doesn't play, then I'm going to flex Chase Brown. So I'm going to start 3 running backs here. I'm not going to start Mooney. So it's for sure Chase Brown and Rachaad White, and then Brees Hall is my flex. If Brees Hall doesn't play, then I'm pivoting to Chase Brown. I'm going to pivot to Chase Brown there. And then start 2 wide receivers, 1 flex, full PPR, Diggs, Flowers, Tet, and Waddle. So you need three of these guys. So you're Diggs, Flowers, Ted, Waddle. You're benching one of them. I think I'm gonna bench. Man, I'm probably gonna bench Diggs. Yeah, I think I'm gonna bench Diggs. It's like Diggs or Waddle for me. My only issue with Diggs, my only issue with Stefon Diggs is like the inconsistencies, right? I know he's been 3 of his last 4 games have been good, and maybe you just kind of bank on that. But he also is only playing around 55% of the snaps. And so I do think that leads to a little bit of inconsistencies. It's between Diggs and Waddle who I'm benching here. I personally think I bench Diggs, but I don't mind if you want to bench Waddle and go with Diggs. I think I'm for sure starting Flowers if Lamar Jackson plays. If Lamar Jackson doesn't play, which I don't know if there's been an update on that, then I think I just bench Flowers and I roll with the other 3. Hopefully that helps there. Akshay. What's up, Mando? Ertz, Jonnu Smith, Juwan Johnson, or Loveland? Loveland's going to be interesting. National Tight End Day. Yeah, well, they're all tight ends here, right? So it doesn't really matter specifically for this question. But I think there's a little bit of a conspiracy with that. Like, I think the NFL is actually trying to make that a thing. National Tight End Day. NFL just wants to dominate. They took over things. They have Thanksgiving. They took over Christmas from the NBA. They have their April NFL draft, like the entire month of April, and they've kind of taken that over. So like the NFL just like wants these. I think it's a little bit of conspiracy that they want. They actually want National Tight Ends Day to be a thing. Remember, I think it was last year, or maybe it's the last 2 years, where like these guys like went off. National Tight Ends Day, like these guys actually went off last year. So it's going to be interesting. But anyways, I guess for this question in particular, it doesn't matter too much because they're all tight end. So Ertz, Jonnu Smith, Juwan Johnson, or Colston Loveland. I think I lean Zach Ertz out of all these guys. Going back to that game, Ertz had 7 targets last week. How many of them came with Mariota? 1. Only 1 came with Mariota. I know Daniels played in majority, played in about 2.5 quarters. I think I go Ertz out of all those guys. And the reason being, and I'm just going to double check this. The reason being is like, I feel most confident in like Ertz is going to be playing the most. Now, I don't mind taking a shot on Loveland if Cole Kmet's out, which I guess we can pull that up and see here. And if Kmet's going to be out, yeah, Kmet is out. So that does make Loveland more intriguing. My issue with Jonnu, Jonnu's not a bad shout either, I guess. Man, this is kind of a tough one. I think I lean Zach Ertz. I don't mind taking a shot on Loveland. I think for sure I don't mind Juwan Johnson. Man, this is like flip a coin, flip a 4-sided coin. And it's like, who do you go for? This one's really tough. Because like you look at Juwan Johnson and it's like he had 5 for 80 last week. Who has the best matchup for tight ends? I guess it would be potentially Juwan. Yeah, man, it's really a toss-up here. I think I lean Ertz, but I don't have a strong feeling there, Mando. It doesn't really help too much. Cannabis, Pacheco, or Dobbs in full PPR. It's going to be Dobbs for me. I do like how they're using Pacheco a little bit more. I'm excited about that. But he's still kind of a trap back. Like you're happy if Pacheco gets 2 catches, right? And he doesn't tend to do much with those catches. In his career, he's averaged 6.2 yards per reception, and that's slightly inflated by his 10 yards per reception rookie year, where he only caught 13 passes. Over the last 3 seasons, 5.5, 6.6, and 3.9, right? That's not good. Yards per reception, like most starting running backs will give you like 7-ish. The elite ones give you like over 8.5 or 9. And then like the bad ones that are not good after the catch or not good as receivers, they give you basically like under 7. Pacheco's been at like under 5.5 in his career if you take out his rookie year. So like essentially what that means is that he needs a touchdown, which he could very well get. But you know, you look at him last week, 57 yards, he got the touchdown. Right? If you didn't get that touchdown, you would have been, you know, potentially cutting Pacheco. So I'm going to go Dobbs in full PPR. I'm going to go Dobbs. What's up, Frizzle? I don't want to start Bill this week. That Kansas City defense scares me. I agree. Starting Brees and Woody in the flex, I'm going Kyle Monangai. Monangai over Bill. I mean, I would definitely start Brees and Woody over Bill, personally, especially in full PPR. Monangai over Bill, I probably just still go Bill, mostly because like I understand like Monangai had good usage last week. You know, he had 13 carries and stuff like that. But if I remember correctly, they were kind of winning that game for most of it. How did that game play out here? Chicago was up 20-7 at the half. And so I feel like that leads a little bit more to being able to play Monangai, you know, get him some work, run the ball a little bit more in the second half. You know, you're up 13 points against a team like that you kind of should be beating. You're up 23-14 in the fourth quarter. So you're up 2 possessions in the fourth quarter as well. So I kind of think maybe, but at the same time, they've been ramping Monangai up a little bit. But if like push comes to shove and this team, you know, they're playing the Ravens. So if they're chasing points and stuff like that, like if the Ravens are back, we could not see much of Monangai. That's my only fear. So I feel more confident that in like, okay, who's going to give me, I feel more confident in Bill giving me 12 to 15 touches than I do Monangai. Now, what they do with it, I don't know. I can't predict that. So I personally still lean Bill, but I understand completely, and I'm not going to argue against starting Monangai because I don't think they're that far off potentially. Should I drop Mason for Brashard Smith? No, Jordan Mason. I wouldn't drop Jordan Mason for Brashard Smith. Obviously, it was a bad game for Mason. It was a bad game for the Vikings. They were just out of it from the beginning, you know. So he does have an Aaron Jones issue, but I go back and look at like week 1. If things go well for the Vikings in a game, the week 1 usage for Jordan Mason is kind of where it's going to be, right? 15 carries and a catch. You know, he's going to be used around the end zone and stuff like that. That's kind of more what I look at. So Brashard Smith's nice. He's an interesting guy. Like, can he be Jerick McKinnon for this team? Maybe. The issue is Jerick McKinnon really was only good for the Chiefs because he had 10 touchdowns that year, right? So that's the only reason why. Yeah. Now, is Brashard Smith going to get 10 touchdowns? I don't think so. So, Chelsea, how's it going? Full PPR, Xavier Worthy, Deebo Samuel, Wan'Dale Robinson, Chase Brown. What is the Commanders? The Commanders practice today, right? They do practice today. What is their situation happening here? So we have Deebo. Why can't I get an injury report for the Commanders? Did Deebo practice yesterday? It says there McLaurin and Deebo full participants in practice. So it sounds like they're going to be playing. Okay. And we should get more information we should get more information today because they should practice today. Okay, so who am I going with here? Worthy, Debo. So you can only choose one of these, Chelsea. You can only choose one of these. Man, this is really tough. Thanks, Frizzle. They're at full practice on Friday, right? So they should be practicing today and they should be good. Man, this is really tough. Worthy, Debo, Wandale, Chase Brown. Honestly, I think as crazy as it sounds, I think it might be between Debo and Wandale Robinson for me. I think it might be between Wandale and Debo for me. You can only start, Wandale and Chase Brown. Like Chase Brown, we saw, man, it's just the Jets are so bad, right? Like we assume they're going to have the positive game script, the Bengals, to be able to run the ball a lot. Like I feel like they're going to have the game script that we need here. But Wandale's been so good, and especially in PPR. But he's playing Philly. That's really tough. I think I actually lean Chase Brown out of all these guys. Like if we're worried about Debo, although he's a full participant, if we're worried about Debo, we just got an update that Lamar Jackson might not play this week. That's worrisome. Yeah, I think I might go Chase Brown here. If you're just going to go best player, I think it's Debo, and so I don't mind Debo. It's really tough though. All those guys could be good, obviously, and so that's really really tough. But I think I go Chase Brown out of all those guys. As crazy as that is, as crazy as it is. Okay, we talked about that. I had Chase Brown, Brashard Smith, Devin Neal, and Tajay Spears too. So that was there. Nah, I'd still go Bill or Monangai over those. Monangai versus Brashard Smith is an interesting one, in my opinion, in PPR. I actually might lean Brashard Smith just because I feel a little bit more confident in what like him getting catches, right? So Tajay is interesting too. I mean, I take that all back. I think I would actually go Tajay Spears out of all those guys. Isn't Pollard potentially going to miss? I know he was on the injury report. Let's see here. Let's see what we got here. Pollard. Oh no, it was just a rest day there. Okay, so I take that all back again. I actually think if you're gonna, I think personally I would go Breece, Woody, and Bill. But if you want to bench Bill and start one of these other guys, I think I'd go Brashard Smith out of all those guys. I think I'd go Brashard Smith. Forgot to add in Judkins. I have him too in that last Diggs, Flowers, Waddle question that I asked. Diggs, Flowers, Waddle. Which one? Oh, here. So then it's Judkins. If Lamar Jackson's not playing, which we just got that report, I think I go Judkins, Tet, and then Waddle or Diggs. It's up to you there. I think I lean Waddle, but I think Diggs is a little bit safer potentially. So yeah, Judkins, Tet, and then Waddle or Diggs. Start Flacco over May. By the way, guys, make sure to hit the like button for us. We'll be live here for another 30, 40 minutes or so, answering all your questions. And all we really ask is just to hit. Actually, we should be able to hit double-digit likes if I do my math right. Hit that like button for us. It's really the only thing we ask for. It helps us get more eyes on the video, helps us grow. We kind of go in order. We answer these questions. If you have an urgent question or if you feel like donating to us, there's the option to super chat, which we will, happily, prioritize your question and answer your question there. So, okay, moving right along. So start Flacco over May. This my opponent have Jamar Chase thoughts. So you want to maybe cancel out Jamar Chase points. I never really take that into account unless it's like a true tiebreaker for me. I still personally go Drake May. I just think I try not to overthink it too much. He's the better quarterback, so I think I just go Drake May, and I don't overthink it. But I mean, it could be a tiebreaker of like, oh, I want to cancel out points. I get that. I get that. So you bring in, what would you do here? Flacco versus May. His opponent has Jamar Chase. So he's asking about potentially canceling some points out there.
Interesting. Flacco's got Cleveland, right?
What? Flacco's got the Jets, and May's got Cleveland.
Oh yeah, sorry, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Interesting. I've kind of thought about that before too. I feel like it never fully works for me, but it's definitely a strategy. Do you employ that very much? Try to
not
start
really.
The quarterback of the stud? Nah.
Because it cancels your points out too.
Well, yeah. It makes it hard for you to get ahead. So I would just kind of go with your gut there. I think I'm just starting May.
Yeah, maybe I use it as like a tiebreaker, but I don't think this is close enough for me. I just go with the better player. I'm kind of looking at Cleveland, who they played. So they played Joe Burrow week 1. They kind of shut him down. They played Lamar. I think Lamar had a big game, but obviously Lamar is a different beast. They played Jordan Love. Jordan Love looks like he didn't have a good game. And then they played Goff. Goff threw 3 touchdowns on them, I believe, or maybe not. Let's see here. What did Goff do in that game? Goff went 2 touchdowns, 170 and 2 touchdowns. So yeah, I mean, they have shut down quarterbacks pretty well. I mean, the Steelers, Aaron Rodgers might have had the best game, like a just a pure passing game, 230 and 2. Yeah. Yeah, I think I still go May though. Do you think Justin Fields is droppable? Picked up Dart in a 1 quarterback league, I think so.
Yeah, probably. Unfortunately,
I would wait.
Did they ever name the starter? I mean, I know we got the comment from the Jets owner.
Well, Tyrod Taylor's on the injury report too, so I would wait. Potentially to see. I don't know what's going on there with Tyrod. If he's a game time decision or something. He's a DMP, and he's still questionable. So I would wait until they rule him out, because I do think if Fields gets on the field, he could still be pretty good for fantasy. So yeah,
juicy matchup for sure.
Yeah. I have Bijan and Dowdle as the RBs and Pickens and Ladd for wide receiver. Okay, so Chelsea had this question here where she was trying to choose between one of these guys: Worthy, Debo, Wandale, and Chase Brown. I think it's really hard. I actually think I might bench Dowdle for one of these guys as well, because she's starting Bijan, Dowdle, Pickens, and Ladd. So let's start there. Obviously, Bijan's a start. Dowdle, Pickens, Ladd. Would you bench one of those guys for any of these guys?
I don't think I'm not benching Pickens, I don't think, because even with Lamb back, he's been playing good enough. Wandale, man,
he's been good.
I know, good old PPR cheat code Wandale.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to throw.
I mean, even for it's not even just PPR for him though. Lately, 6 for 84 and a touchdown, and 6 for 95. That's not PPR merchants to me are 7 for 40 or something.
Yeah,
So,
which I kind of think like that's usually a little closer to like what I expect from him typically, you know. He's
sure,
been a
but
little
we have the last 2 weeks have been no neighbors, right? When did neighbors get hurt? Was that all the way
uh
back against Kansas
that
City or
was like
something?
week 3 or something, wasn't it?
Maybe. And then Jackson Dart. So I mean, 2 of his 4 games since Jackson Dart's since he's taken over have been good. Anyways, yeah.
I still want to get Debo back into the lineup.
So who would
And
you
I know
choose out of this group? Like out of this group, let's start there.
just out of these 4 names here,
4, yeah. Who would you
just
choose?
one
And
guy.
only one, yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go back to Debo.
Interesting. I was kind of leaning Chase Brown out of all of them, just because of the matchup. I think could be like perfect for Chase Brown. But okay, so then would you bench Dowdle for one of these other guys?
I mean, just straight up for running back, like I think I would bench Dowdle for Chase Brown.
Yeah,
I'm okay with that, and honestly, probably most of these receivers too, if not all
yeah,
of them.
yeah. It's kind of how I feel. So I might go Chase Brown and Debo then as my starters over Dowdle. So Debo as your flex, and then Chase Brown over Dowdle.
Yeah,
Like, I know. I don't know. Like, there's a chance, I guess, they use Dowdle more. Like, he did look better than Chuba Hubbard, but also Chuba Hubbard was just coming back from an injury. But like, Dowdle went to under 50% of the snaps and stuff. So like, yeah, I think I go Debo and Chase Brown. It's tough though. I mean, you have a lot of good options there. So,
yeah.
um, what's up, Marvin? We can talk. We can talk that trade if you want. It's Marv had some. He feels very passionate about. I don't know if you got a chance to look at it, but
No,
we'll talk about that. We can talk about it later. Let's get to some of these. So if Lamar is out, then that should make Monangai a good start. Potentially. Bears' run defense hasn't been great, if I remember correctly, and so let's see here. I like this website, team rankings. So this year, the Bears are giving up 137 yards on the ground. Their last 3 games, they've given up basically exactly that, but they were good last week. So they're giving up, their top 5 most yards allowed. So like this could be a Derrick Henry game. Like Frizzle was, I don't think you were here for it. So Frizzle was basically deciding between Brees Hall, Woody Marks. He wants to bench Bill. Or no, he's starting Brees Hall and Woody Marks. He wants to bench Bill for Kyle Monangai because he's worried about Kansas City. He also has Brashard Smith, Devin Neal, Tajay Spears. I said I think I would go with Bill over Monangai still. I understand though benching Bill, just because of that matchup. And then I said honestly I think I would start Brashard Smith over Monangai in PPR. But I don't know if you have any lean there. Are you okay with taking a shot on Monangai over Corey Krosky Merritt?
Yeah, I don't think I'm quite there yet. We obviously saw the like a decent touch spike for him last week. It was against the Saints though. What was the score of that game?
Yeah, so I went over that. It's they were comfortably. It was never a blowout, but they were comfortably in ahead. Like I forget the exact details here. So they were up 20-7 going into the third. At halftime. Then they were up 23-14 in the fourth, going into the fourth quarter. So they were consistently up 2 possessions in that game from halftime onwards. So that allowed them to run the ball a little bit more. That's exactly the point I made. But now that Lamar is going to potentially be out, is the last news we got just 15 minutes ago. So I don't mind Monangai and taking a shot on him. Again, I don't think they're that far off to where if you feel strongly about like being afraid of Kansas City and Bill, then like trust your gut. Like usually I always tell people that unless it's like, no, you can't do that. Like you got to start this guy. I don't think it's that far off for me to say that. So
yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I don't think I'm quite ready to start Monangai, but I think he's still at least one more week. Let's see if he plays more than half the snaps. I mean, Swifts look good, so I don't think they're gonna turn the keys over to the Rook necessarily. Like it's trending well, as far as usage goes, and obviously, like if Swift's out, then Monangai becomes like a way easier start in that situation.
Yeah, Swift. Oh yeah, Swift is on the injury report, huh?
Yeah, it says he's expected to play.
Yeah. So that could be another maybe they lightened his load a little bit. Should I pick up Dart versus the Bears or Rodgers versus the Chargers? So yeah, we talked about this one, I believe. I think I'd go Dart versus the Bears to replace Mahomes.
Yeah,
just because of the rushing.
We did talk about it yesterday. Pick up if you have the room to stash a guy, just pick up Dart now, and if he turns into if he looks more like a rookie over the next couple of weeks, then it's like it's probably easy enough to like drop him and still get Rodgers. Honestly,
yeah. Yep. Indeed. Just realized my wide receiver room is actually pretty bad. I got London, CD, then it's Christian Watson, Calvin Austin, Moody. Yeah, it's not great there, Frizzle.
Yeah.
Hopefully, you only have to start 2 wide receivers. Rodgers or Cousins? Probably Rodgers. Let's see here. Their matchups against Green Bay, Rodgers. He might revenge game to the max. It is at home though. And then I'd probably still go Rodgers. Miami though, huh? Miami.
But Miami's you just run all over them, right?
Yeah. Let's see where these are at. Packers are kind of middle of the pack against quarterbacks. Dolphins are top 6 most points. I don't know. Actually, I don't know if I guess I don't mind against Miami. Like starting Cousins against Miami. There's a good chance like Cousins like looks really good. Like
yeah,
they paid him a bunch of money to do that.
Yeah, for sure. Like obviously like he had a lot of issues last year coming off that major injury from the previous year. And the dude just couldn't move in the pocket at all. But I mean, he still looked like Kirk Cousins a few times during the season last year, and now he's another full year removed from the injury from 23. So yeah, I think he's I definitely have him in a few places still, like on deep dynasty rosters, super flex leagues, because you never knew what was going to happen with Mr. Penix.
Yeah, I think I go. I'm actually fine with Cousins there. Just playing the defenses a little bit. So, yeah, and then Fant or Chig.
I think I'm gonna just go back to Chig.
I'm gonna go whoever's playing more. So I'm gonna find out that right now.
It's Chig.
Is it?
Yeah.
How much is Chig?
But let's see. Gesicki's been on IR for how long? He only missed 1 game.
And so Fant played almost 70% of the snaps in that game. Where's Jake at?
Chig's kind of in the 60s the last 3 games, more or less like 65-70% like all year, except for the last 3 games he's played a little less.
Yeah, I think I'd just go Fant. Better matchup, better quarterback at this point, like playing more. I don't know. I think I'd just go Fant. Uncle hasn't really been good this year outside of, he's had a few good games, but he can also go 0 for 0 and 0,
Yeah, and Fant Flacco's gonna throw more than 40 times, so
yeah, I think I'd just go Fant, but a bit of a coin toss there, coin flip. No tight end premium. I have Kraft, Ertz, and Henry. I see Brashard Smith and Iomanner as free agents. Assume this is dynasty or is this redraft? I mean, if it's redraft, it's easy. Well, I'd probably drop one of those tight ends. If it's dynasty, I think I still might drop. I assume you're starting Tucker Kraft each and every week, and so like Ertz and Henry are on your bench. Like I'd drop one of them for Iomanner for sure in dynasty.
Yeah, dynasty makes it a lot easier, I think.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, I'm not carrying 3 tight ends in redraft, not these 3 guys anyways.
Yeah.
Just pick especially your poison.
Tight end premium. Yeah, if that's dynasty, I would 100% be grabbing Ellick. And I tried to get Brashard Smith on my team as well, but definitely Ellick there. Another guy RB2 this week. Woody Marks droppable? I don't think so.
In solid hold.
Yeah, I think he's just a hold at this point. I mean, he's had 21, 7, and 13 touches. He's can catch the ball. He's had seven catches in the last 3 games, 3 touchdowns. He hasn't been playing well necessarily. Seattle's defense is also really good against running backs. I think he's a hold. Is there a tip I should know about starting players based on their scheduled game times? I mean,
I got one. Start them before their game starts.
Yeah, that's important. Not really. I mean, always leave your later games in your flex spots is the one. So like your morning games, your Thursday games, your morning games on Sunday, or I guess early afternoon, depending on your early games on Sunday, they should all be in like your non-flex spots if possible. And then your Monday nights, your Sunday nights, your Sunday late games should all be in your flexes just in case something happens, especially if those guys are questionable. So you have more of a pivot option there. But yeah, I don't really think anything else there you should take into account unless I'm missing something. Would Purdy be outperforming Jones this year? I drafted Purdy and it sucks to hold him 1 quarterback leagues. It's rich to hold a quarterback. No IR spot wouldn't have helped anyways. I have Darnold on bye. I kind of been saying this for a while. Like maybe Purdy's a little bit better. I don't think he's that much better than Mac Jones personally. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if we would have said that before.
I did
this year. Oh, you did?
I was saying if Purdy gets in there, he's going to be very similar. Or if Mac Jones gets in there, he's going to be very similar to Purdy.
Yeah, I mean,
system. It's a system,
Yeah, and we saw Mac Jones operate well with Jacksonville at the second part of last year, or the last third of it. So, yeah, I mean that's fair enough. He was one of those guys that I actually kind of had stashed.
Yeah.
On a few dynasty rosters, kind of for that reason, because these first round guys, they kind of stick around and they kind of go through the washing machine sometimes, and sometimes they actually get better. Look at Sam Darnold revitalizing his career last year.
Yeah, if I'm Anthony Richardson, man, I am like begging to go to Shanahan, McVay, O'Connell. Like, please send me there so I can revitalize my career. But yeah, I mean, I assume you're talking. Well, are you talking redraft or dynasty here, Marvin? I mean, one quarterback's like I don't think I would be holding Purdy to this point in redraft. Like I think I would have dropped him a while ago. Also depends a little bit what your waiver wire is like. Um, like in our home league, it feels like people stash quarterbacks a lot. So I was like hesitant to drop Trevor Lawrence, but I kind of had to because I needed to start someone. But like, there's not a whole lot of good options on the waiver wire in that league. So I don't know. I think I would have dropped him a while ago, personally. Tyrod, Matt, Gabriel, Dalton, or other as your QB for the week. Cousins and Rattler available. All ass, I know. Yeah, they are. I probably just go Mac Jones. But it's really like you said, they're all kind of in that like just giant tier glob of players. It's just like I don't know. Like Mac Jones does have a pretty tough matchup, so maybe it's Tyrod with a better matchup. Maybe just play the matchups is the best way to go. So like Tyrod gets Cincy, Mac Jones gets at Houston, Dalton gets Buffalo, Gabriel gets the Patriots. I'd probably go Cousins actually out of all these guys.
Yeah. Obviously, like we all watched the Houston Seahawks or Houston Seattle game this past Monday, and Houston's defense definitely kept them alive in that game against arguably a better quarterback. I don't know.
Darnold, yeah.
Yeah. So, what has Houston been doing against quarterbacks in general? Where are they ranked on that? Sorry, I never got all my tabs open and everything. Just gonna rely on you a bunch.
Let's see.
Have they been good against quarterbacks in general?
Texans are number 1 against quarterbacks.
Really?
Yeah. I knew they were up there. I didn't know exactly where, just because, their defensive backs are really good this year. So they played Stafford. They gave up 150 passing yards. The Baker 180, Lawrence 184, Cam Ward 224, Cooper Rush 250, and then Darnold 198. So I don't know passing touchdowns exactly what they got there, but they've been kind of holding them. So I think I actually go Cousins out of all these guys. I think he has the better weapons. He has the better matchup. He might be the best quarterback out of all of them still, So
it would be Tyrod Taylor for me if he was going to play
over Cousins and all that.
I think so, just for the rushing and stuff.
Yeah,
trying to play for a starting job for the rest of the season too. Juicy matchup.
Really good match. Yeah, really good matchup.
Yeah.
So Tyrod or Cousins is the answer. As a Chargers fan, I've been saying to trade Huge while you could. I strongly against Huge. This guy, Rodney Gadsden can assure me. Yeah, I mean, Quentin Johnston was a pretty clear sell in Dynasty, so high. It's always tough, though, like when you believe in the guy and then they start to, perform a little bit. And it wasn't just touchdowns for Huge. Like, it was like he was getting targets, and stuff like that. Looks like Debo and McLaurin are both active, which is good. He was a pretty
boys.
Yeah, he was a pretty easy sell. I think the issue with Huge is like their offensive line being injured, and Quentin Johnston's a down the field type of guy. I don't think they just trust their offensive line to give Herbert that time, which is why maybe we're seeing. I know Gadsden had a couple deeper throws. I think that plays into it a little bit, but yeah, I mean, he was an easy sell high.
Yeah, and we kind of talked about him too, where it's like, okay, he actually started performing. Like, he didn't have a terrible year last year either. That was a lot more touchdown dependent last year, like in the second part of the year, I feel like. Mm-hmm. But like you took him with a mid first or late first, back in 2023. And so you kind of had to make the decision once you could actually get that first for him again back. Like, are you just kind of like re-rolling that pick, or you're finally like, oh, he's finally doing it,
Well, the problem is, I don't think you could have gotten a first from Quentin Johnston because people were hesitant. Like, he was already ranked super low. He had he was fine last year, but he was nowhere near fantasy relevant. And so maybe in deeper leagues, but people weren't going to just trade. So at that point, it's like, do I really want to sell this guy who's performing and playing well? He was like top 10. Like, do I want to sell him for just like a second? I don't know if you could have gotten much more for him. If you could have gotten a couple seconds, this probably was a sell. But would you have done it for just one random second? Like, maybe that's the right move, but also I can understand not doing it. So obviously, if you could have got a first for him, you should have done it. That's a no-brainer because we see this all the time. But it's also hard to just not really get much for him. So yeah, I mean, it probably had to have been part of a package. There are rumors that Jacksonville may shop BTJ.
I don't see why they would do that.
Jeez, yeah, why would they do that?
For rookies?
And oh my God, yes.
Sorry, not rookie, but
yeah,
rookie contract guys. Like, that doesn't happen often, right? I imagine. No. Especially when
trades
you see
don't happen.
What's that?
Trades just don't happen very often. But yeah, especially rookie contract guys.
Yeah, especially when you've seen him how good he is. Like, they're not going to kneecap themselves that way.
I hope not. I mean, if they were to give if they were to trade BTJ for Quentin Johnston and Trey Harris, my God, that would be insane for the Chargers. Bailey Zappi being elevated off the practice squad due to Shedeur Sanders being questionable. League winner. Yeah, league winner, Bailey Zappi. Browns are just going for what team has started the most quarterbacks in one season? They're just trying to get that record there.
Yeah.
I'm just an enthusiast like everyone. I respect other trades, but I'll leave it at that. The other manager will be better off. Will be a better player after this, I hope, or quit. Who knows? So basically what the trade was, it's a redraft league. It's a super flex league. It's a deeper roster league. It's, our person we know personally, Bobby, he traded away Scattaboo and Flowers. He got back Penix, Rattler, and Amarion Hampton. Now, Bobby, to put this into context a little bit, Bobby is 6-8. He's in 9th place, so he's not doing hot, but also this league is pretty, mashed together still. It's still only 3 points away from being number 2 in the league. And he didn't have any quarterbacks, basically. I think he had Russell Wilson and Fields, so he had no quarterbacks. He made the trade. He made the trade before Penix got benched. And so obviously Marv messaged me. I thought when I first saw it, I thought Traylor got a way better deal and stuff like that, especially because the big thing is with Amarion Hampton, and we don't know when he's going to come back. I think he has 2 more weeks for the IR. It doesn't sound like he's even close to coming back, but we don't know, and not everyone knows that. Not necessarily everyone follows it as closely as maybe they should, and stuff like that. So ultimately, I don't love the trade, especially now that Penix is gonna miss. It's not great. So you get 1 starter this week, and you're giving up 2 kind of high end guys, in my opinion, in this league. So I do think Traylor won. I was never saying, when I was talking to Marv, my whole issue is I just don't veto trades unless I know it's collusion, because I just can't. I can't be the one to determine whether something's good or not good, and other people aren't going to, let's have the league veto or vote. First of all, not the entire league votes. So that already kind of sways it a bit. We need everyone voting or no one voting type of thing. And also people don't ever vote fairly. They vote on which team they don't want to win. You can't, there's just no way to not have a complete no bias type of thing. So yeah, I don't think it was a great trade. One thing I will say, and then I'll let you speak. When it comes to quarterbacks, I see this a lot. People compare quarterbacks within their own position, and they say, he's QB 24 this year. But when in a super flex league, when you look at, you actually go and look at, okay, yeah, Spencer Rattler He's QB 17 this year. He's QB 26 in points per game. Sounds horrendous. He's averaging 14.2 points per game. But then you go and look, because you're starting these guys in your super flex, potentially over running backs and wide receivers. That's RB 15 this year. That's wide receiver 14.2 points. That's wide receiver 18 this year or 19 this year. Like, those are top 20 players compared to the other positions, even though they're QB 26 in their own field. So that's one thing I just wanted to say about like comparing. That's a big mistake people make when judging trades in the super flex league with quarterbacks. So what are your thoughts on the trade?
Yeah, sorry, I was just like reading through the comments and everything like that. Yeah, I mean, it's tough as far as like going after, like Bobby thought he was getting a couple of quarterbacks, and obviously he's only getting one, and it's Rattler, but yeah, like you said, better than most other guys you're going to be starting anyways.
I mean, Rattler's been better than Devonta Smith this year. He's been better than he's been the same as Cortland Sutton this year. Like,
yeah.
He's been better than Ashton Genty, Saquon Barkley. Like, so that's I always want to point that out when judging quarterbacks. You can't look at them in Superflex in their own position. You got to look at them what you're starting them over at the running back or wide receiver spot. So
yeah, for sure. And like overall the trade, like I think Bobby was kind of trying to save his season a little bit, and it doesn't look like it's going to work out necessarily, but it still could. It still could. I'm kind of curious, like who he has to start now.
Yeah, I mean,
he's starting Sean Tucker. Like that's bad.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people who also view fantasy a lot more like over the last like couple of weeks, and like Flowers hasn't been great the last couple of weeks, and he might not be good again with Cooper Rush starting. There's a good chance there. So yeah, I don't think it was a great trade. I think Bobby could have gone a different path and maybe just traded like one player for a quarterback or something. Like I probably would have traded one of my quarterbacks for one of those guys, just one. Just because I'm down in that league and I need starters and stuff. So like, I don't think it was a great trade. Again, it did come before we knew that Penix was on the injury report. We didn't know he wasn't going to play. So there is that too. So he was also limited. I don't know. And also a lot of people might not realize, hey, Omarion Hampton's probably going to miss longer than the 4-week IR thing.
Yeah, right? And they said that early on too. Like I think it was like week 1 of him being on IR. They said, like the coaching staff said, like, "Oh, this is long. This is longer than a 4-week thing."
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's great for Traylor. I mean, and I thought maybe he initiated the trade, but it sounds like it was Bobby that did it, which is a little unusual as we know Bobby, and he seems to be a little bit more just like, I don't know, it's hard to trade with him. Let's just say that.
Yeah,
so,
he's a little more passive.
Yeah.
When it comes to actually initiating stuff.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I don't mind people debating trades at all. Like as long as we keep it like civil and stuff. So, we're not getting personal or anything. We have one league, our Dynasty Startup Poseidon League, like. That league just like every trade just gets like scrutinized under the microscope type of thing. It's like, what the hell is this? Basically. Mo Diesel says start one, half PPR. Alec Tell. I don't know who Tell is. Oh, Tez. So Tez, Christian Watson, man. This is where we're at, huh? Start one, DJ Moore Waddle. All right, let's start with the DJ Moore Waddle, assuming it's still half PPR there.
They got to be different leagues, right?
Yeah. Yeah, probably. Yeah, they have to be, right? Because you're not starting those guys over there. Obviously, if this is the same league, you're starting DJ Moore and Waddle.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at.
Yeah.
Although I might start Tez Johnson over DJ Moore this week.
I mean, it's Tez Johnson in the first one, and it's Waddle in the second one. I think I'm pretty not thinking too hard about that one.
Yeah, I agree.
Tajay Spears or Jalen Knoll this week. Sounds like
Jeez.
Pollard's going to play. I know.
Oh,
I really
I
like
didn't even
Jalen.
realize there was a thing with Pollard.
He had a rest day. I know he popped up on the injury report on Wednesday. We didn't know why, but then it was updated to just like a veteran rest day. So I don't know. I don't see how you can start Tajay Spears. Like, I know he had 7 catches his first 2 weeks back, but he also had 4 carries last week, and that's it. Like,
Hey,
he played
got
25% of the
5
snaps.
5.
So who are they playing? The Colts? Yeah, maybe they're going to be trailing. He had 5 carries. I see 4. Oh no, that was week 5. Okay, 5 carries and 3. Okay, so 7 in the last 2 games there. That does change it a bit.
Yeah, I'll just start Jalen Knoll with the hope and the prayer. What's that?
No, either you lagged or I lagged, and I thought I lost internet. So, but
No.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go Knoll. I mean, he had 7 targets. You have Christian Kirk out. You have is Nico out too? Nico's out.
Yeah, Nico's out.
So yeah, I'm just going to go Jalen Knoll this week. All right, let's keep going here. Once again, guys, make sure to hit the like button for us. It's all we ask. Let's see where we're at with our likes. We should be at double digits. We've had consistently double-digit people watching. We only have 7 likes. We'd like to get to double-digit likes, guys. 10. 3 more likes. Hit the like button for us. We will answer your questions. We go in order. If you do have an urgent thing, you can always super chat. There's a little $ by the, where you send your message, and we'll get to it. We'll kind of prioritize it if you want to get your question read quickly, or you just want to support us. I was using facts, not feelings with that trade. The only validity in that to trade is the guy who sent it didn't know or something. I don't think it's unethical. We know Bobby personally. I think Trailer's one of our listeners at least. I don't think he's their friends or anything and stuff like that. So again, if you take it in context of like you thought you were getting 2 starting quarterbacks, it's actually not a terrible trade because those 2 quarterbacks could easily be better than Flowers and Scadaboo this week. And it's not unrealistic to say that. On top of getting Hampton, and you're thinking maybe Hampton's back in a couple weeks, but now it looks terrible with Penix missing. Chargers getting BTJ would be a dream. I like Juwan Jennings as well, or Myers. Yeah, we'll see if they make these trades. It's coming up for sure. Waddle or Josh Downs this week? I'm going Waddle.
Yep.
Chargers need to grab a true guard and defensive tackle. We will be stacked. Yeah, they need to get guys back and offensive linemen. And Mekhi Becton needs to stop getting hurt. Mac Jones against Houston or start Cousins. I might go Cousins now that I know Texans are just like they shut every quarterback down, and they've had good quarterbacks that they've played against. Where are you going here?
Yeah, I think I'm good with after what we talked about with Houston's defense, and we saw it play out on Monday night. So, yeah, I'll start Kirk Cousins.
Lamar is officially out. Yep, Lamar out. Terry and Debo will play. Yes, indeed. So it's tough, man. I thought, they're going to have to rely on Derrick Henry this game. I took your guys' advice and traded my JSN for Marvin Harrison, and instead of took the Hunter and 26 first. So you got Marvin Harrison, Hunter, and a 26 first for JSN? Is that the trade there? Because I don't think we would have told you just JSN straight up for Marv.
No, I think the trade might have been Marv and Tet for JSN. Tetaroa, shit. So I think he's saying, this is the way I'm reading it anyways. It was JSN for Marv and then Hunter and a 26 first.
Yeah, I like that. I like that trade. That's how I was reading it.
Yeah.
But it also could be JSN for Marvin Harrison. And that I mean, if we told you that, we were drunk or something. So I don't know. Like
possible.
I don't think we would have told you that. So but yeah, if you got Marv, Hunter and a 26 first for him, I think that's a solid haul for JSN.
That's the kind of stuff that you want to do if you're trying to rebuild, right? Like we probably kind of talked about that a little bit. Like obviously JSN's a young stud himself, but if you're thinking Marv can like, you know, be a little bit closer to where we were drafting him, and you know, you get another bullet for the God. What I can't even think of analogies right now. Yeah, bullet in the chamber, bullet in the clip with the first, and then you know, we still think Hunter can become a little more fantasy relevant. So I like it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even mind doing this trade if you're a contender. Like, I think I don't necessarily like to think of just like I can only do this if I'm rebuilding, or I can't trade JSN if I'm contending. Like, if you're kind of winning a trade pretty handedly, in my opinion, like I don't mind making it whether I'm trading away a contending, you know, a guy helping me now or not. Like, I just think it kind of helps you. Obviously, there's like a to a certain extent, but like you gotta be careful. But I think it just kind of helps you overall. So I had a collusion trade in my league a few weeks ago. James Cook and DK Metcalf for Miles Sanders, Tank Bigsby, and Christian Kirk.
That is really bad. It's really hard to like know if collusion is actually a thing, or I mean, you could just be dealing with a manager who's an idiot, you know, like or is not paying attention, and someone's preying on them. That's a terrible trade, obviously. Like, and honestly, like there was a trade a couple of years ago in a league that I was in, and it was so bad and egregious. And I did find out like it was a league where I knew like half the people, but I didn't know these two people in particular. And someone told me it was like, oh yeah, this is totally like I thought the trade was horrible, and I didn't really think too much of it. But then there was like another trade between the same managers like the day after that, which was along the same lines. And I guess the story came out to me like the guy who was winning the trade or the trades basically was like talking shit about the other guy's wife at a softball game or something like that. And it was like, oh, that's weird. And so maybe you're trying to like make up, but it was definitely like a last place team, like not ruled out of the playoffs yet, but it was really bad. And I ended up winning that league. And then I walked away from it because I was like, it puts the commissioner in a hard spot, because if you can't actually like prove it, it's like you don't want to have to like police trades and all that stuff. And they were kind of like, the solution was, oh, next year we'll have like a veto system or something like that. And I was just like, I don't even want to be a part of this anymore. Like, I'm just gonna take the money and run.
Yeah, it is really hard to see, you know, what is collusion and stuff like that. But
sorry. And then like the manager who was like he actually ended up admitting to collusion at a later time, like after the season, like when I basically said like, oh, I'm not coming back like this year coming up. And I didn't know the guy. Like it might have even been the first time I was meeting him. And I was just kind of like, yeah, I got too many leagues. Like, and he was basically like, oh, you're not going to give us a chance to win our money back and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no, like I got too many leagues going on. And then he said something to my wife later that night. And she was like, well, yeah, like I heard there was like some bullshit cheating going on in that league. And that's why he doesn't, like, she was just like straight up told him. And he was like, oh yeah, that was me. Like he totally admitted it. And so I don't know.
It's fucked up because like this is you know, this is money involved. Like it's not just a game. Like it's one thing to cheat just like in a game, which I'd still hate, but like when there's money involved, like and I don't want to trivialize like what $30 is to someone or 100, you know, like the pot being whatever it is, $200, like that could go a long way for people. And like so it's kind of like you're trying to steal money from them essentially. Like it's really messed up.
Yeah, it was $100 buy-in league too. So
Yeah, it's significant. All right, let's get through these. I'm 5-2. Should I trade Ferguson to get Bowers, or is Ferg fine rest of the season? Ferg's probably fine rest of the season, but I don't mind that trade either. Like, hopefully Bowers comes back healthy. The one healthy game we saw from Bowers, he was awesome. So, I think it's a fine like risk trade to try and like you can easily lose that trade, but I think it's a fine like take a chance trade, try to win your league. You obviously have some good players if you're 5-2.
Yeah.
So don't mind it at all. But I do think Ferg's going to be top 5.
He should. I mean, he's probably got like a pretty good lead. I don't even know who's number 2. Probably Trey McBride.
Let's say from this point on, though. Like,
oh yeah. I think he'll still be top 5.
Yeah. So you need Bowers to be kind of what Bowers was last year, or his first game this year. But yeah, it's an interesting one. Interesting one there. Purdy and Njoku for Shaheed redraft. Purdy and Njoku for Shaheed in redraft.
Is Shaheed getting more than like 4 catches? What is he doing? Oh, what do you know? He has 4 catches. Oh my God. He has 4 catches every week since week 2.
That's great. It's just consistent. Like you can rely on it.
Pencil him in for 4 catches.
4 points each week, guaranteed in PPR. No, I don't think so. There, Marv. I don't know. Like, Njoku could be better than Shaheed if he's healthy.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if you really need a receiver and you're banking on Shaheed to, I don't know if I feel great about that.
Yeah. I don't think I make that trade. I don't know what that trade is doing there. Like,
I mean,
if you're giving,
go ahead.
No, I was saying if you're giving someone a quarterback too, like potentially, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. You just got done saying Purdy's essentially been droppable, and like I don't think that's wrong. Like in a 1 QB redraft league, like I don't know. I'm not too worried about that. It's essentially Njoku for Shaheed. So
yeah. Do you flex Taysom Hill over Xavier Worthy? Nah.
No.
People are really worried about Worthy. I mean, I get it. I mean, Taysom Hill had 2 carries for -4 yards, 2 catches for 12 yards. Like, since he's coming back, here's his stat. He's had -1 total yard, 1 yard, and 8 yards. That's his yardage total. He has 1 touchdown in there. Like, I'm not super worried about Worthy. Like, I know people are maybe worried because like Rashee Rice coming back, but like basically since Worthy's come back from his injury, he gave you 120 total yards with 5. So he gave you about 17 points. He gave you 11 points. This is all PPR. He gave you 10.5, and then he gave you about 8 points. Last week was his worst game, but like it was obviously they were designing Rashee Rice touches to get in the end zone. Like they were like making it a point, like, hey, we're back. So I still think like Worthy's going to be fine. He's going to play 75% of the snaps, and yeah, it'll be good. So trade Rice and Achane for Olave, Waddle, Pickens, Chase Brown, PPR redraft. Need to fill out my roster with injuries. So Rice and Achane. How many starters in this, Tyler? Because like you're giving up 2 top tier guys there for guys that are good. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, and you held Rice until he came back, essentially, like that's the tough part for me too. Like he's been taking up a spot on your roster this entire time, but I get sometimes you got to make moves. But
yeah, I mean, if this is a standard like start 7 or 8, I think I'm just keeping Rice and Achane and like hoping I have one other piece. And like honestly, guys, like 3 guys, like both those guys could be top 7 players at their position. I mean, Achane's probably already close to being there, right? I would assume Achane's RB5 this year. Rice is average at 23 points, which obviously is a wide receiver 1 this year, but in points per game. Like all you need in a start 7, start 8, so a quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, and a flex, or and a tight end, and then an extra wide receiver, extra flex. Like you just need three guys to go off. Like that's really all you need, and then you'll win most weeks. So like Olave's been good. Waddle, Pickett, like all these guys have been good pieces. I don't think any of them are going to be like top 5 guys. Like I think Rice and Achane can be. So I don't think I make that trade. And in a deeper league, I do though.
Yeah.
So bed bugs. That's disgusting. Andy has bed bugs in the avatar picture there. Gross. Pickens, Lamb, Waddle, Debo. I mean, Lamb easy, no brainer there. And then, do you do both Cowboys or do you diversify a little bit? Because I think Pickens is probably ahead of both those guys.
Yeah. That's kind of where I was at. Like while you were talking, I was kind of looking at like, do I don't really want to start two receivers on the same team, but I might make an exception for the way Dallas has been playing.
Yeah.
They're just throwing it all over the place. I mean, it's still only they've been really efficient, I guess I should say. They're not, Dak's not Joe Flacco throwing 40 times a game, but he's making it count.
Yeah.
But I think I do want to diversify a bit.
So you go and then Waddle or Debo?
I think I'm leaning Debo.
Yeah, I'd probably go Debo and Lamb as well. And then he does ask, he's a little bit new to fantasy, which is great. Welcome. You're going to get addicted. Having both those guys, it's not terrible. It's just when you have really good options here, like it's easy to pivot. But let's just say let's just say you were talking like your other receivers, you're looking at like Stephon Diggs or Wandale or Addison, or I know he already played, even guys like Worthy and Dobbs, like you're easily starting both those guys. So it's just you have 2 really good options with Waddle and Debo as well. Tyrod Taylor has been ruled out. Justin Fields will get the start.
Oh my goodness!
Don't drop Fields. So like you have other good options to where like the tiebreaker can kind of just be don't buy in completely to one offense. So I mean, if you could trade Pickens and get a relatively similar valued player, I'm fine with it. But I'm also fine with starting those guys if you don't have good options. I mean, the Bengals are the perfect example. The Waddle and Tyreek Hill there a couple years ago. Like there's offenses every year that just support multiple wide receivers. So, and the Cowboys seem to be one. So,
yeah.
I don't even mind starting Pickens and Lamb together. Like I think because it's the Broncos though, tougher defense. I think I do just lean and pivot towards the other guys. So hopefully that helps there. Bed bugs. Is Chicago or Atlanta the better play at defense this week with Lamar being out now? Yeah, that's a good question. I'm fine with both. Atlanta gets Miami, and then Chicago now gets Ravens without Lamar. So maybe it is. Their run defense can be bad though. I don't know. I'd probably still go Atlanta, but I don't mind Chicago.
Yeah, I think I'll go Atlanta.
We'll be live at least at the most 10 more minutes, guys, and then we'll take off. But we talked about that. Also, do you think trading Flowers for Chase Brown was a bad idea? I was struggling at running back and pretty set at wide receiver. Depends when you did it there, Jeffrey. Like if you did it just a couple weeks ago, probably just because Chase Brown was so bad. But now that you got Flacco on this team, they can start moving the ball. They get a relatively, a decent schedule coming up. You get Jets, Bears the next 2 weeks, which should be good matchups for Chase Brown. Then Steelers, Patriots, not great. And then Ravens, Bills, Dolphins in the playoff fantasy championship, Cardinals. You get a really nice December schedule here of Ravens, Bills, Dolphins, Cardinals. I think that's a pretty good one. So, no, I don't think it was a huge mistake. Jury's still out there. I think. Julian says, which wide receiver does he pick up? Franklin Mooney, Tez Johnson. To start this week? Tez.
Yeah, I think so.
Assuming that's Tez, not Tyler Johnson.
Yeah,
I mean, Tyler Johnson, man, he's starting for the Jets with Garrett Wilson out. Yay. He has 3 for 60. No, yeah, I think it's Tez. Probably rest of the season as well. Down bad. Do I start Monangai or Brashard Smith? We had this come up. I think in PPR, I think I go Brashard Smith. In half and standard, maybe I go Monangai. You have a lean there?
I think it's Monangai for me.
Even in PPR?
What's that?
Even in PPR?
Yeah, it's closer to Brashard. Brashard? Is it Brashard or Brashad?
Brashard.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, PPR probably is Brashard Smith.
I mean, basically, he's averaging over the last 4 games just through receiving. He's averaging 7 points, 3.5 catches, and 30.5 yards. So yeah, 6.5.
Yeah.
Points in receptions.
Yeah.
Which, that basically means Monangai kind of has to get a touchdown to outscore him, right? Most likely.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, now that we just learned Lamar's out, that could change the math a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
I think I'm gonna lean Monangai in all formats.
Okay, I go Brashard and PPR. Just again, if you're telling me he's baseline 6.5, 7 points, like that leads me to believe that Monangai needs to get a touchdown. Like, I don't know if Monangai is going to get much more than 60, 70 yards total. And Brashard Smith, by the way, can still get a touchdown, and he gets his carries as well. It's not getting much, but 13 yards or whatever. Need 2 for the flex and PPR. Dowdle, Diggs, Wandale. I think I go Diggs and Wandale.
Yeah, I think Wandale's the easy one, right? Especially in PPR.
Yeah, Diggs has been good too. 3 of the last 4 games.
Yeah, 3 out of the last 4. You're happy with. So, yeah, let's go Diggs and Wandale.
Agreed. Wide receiver room in redraft is nice. By the way, thanks, Marvin.
Rice.
Is
I read
Rice,
it as nice also, and then I read the other names, and I was like, that's not nice. But
Rice, Myers, Tez, Johnson, Jaden Higgins. Do I move Njoku for Shaheed? I have a lot to guess. Are you talking about is this in our listener league? I feel like you're not really most leagues aren't really talking about Rashid Shaheed, I guess is why I'm thinking that. Let's see here. Where are you at here? Why can't I find you? Marv, there you are. No, I don't think it is there in our listener league. No, I don't know. How deep are these starting rosters? I think Njoku's there's a good chance. I mean, has Njoku just been better than Shaheed this year? Straight up. Let's see here. Shaheed's averaging 11.2 points per game in PPR. A little bit more than I thought, to be honest. Njoku is 8.6. So I don't know. Sure, I guess. Yeah. I mean, yeah. In deeper leagues, in shallow leagues, these, I feel like Shaheed's not really talked about. So it must be a deeper league. So yeah, I'm fine with it. Terry McLaurin or Tej Johnson? What are you doing there? McLaurin's playing. Got his Mariota playing the Chiefs.
Yeah, So they're probably playing from behind, have to throw. I think I think I might go Tez. It's tough though, because I think Terry's. I mean, it's hard to say like Terry's the more skilled player. He's the more proven guy for sure. And that's not a knock on Tez. We just haven't seen.
Yeah, Terry's the better receiver.
Yeah, I know. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go Terry. It sucks because we don't have any. We have one game where Mariota and McLaurin played this year together, and Terry got hurt in that. Yeah, I guess I can look at that real quick. Let's see. What game did you start? Week 7.
So Mariota's. Are you looking at Mariota?
Yeah, week 7 last year.
Oh, 18, you only put in half the snaps.
Yeah, and last year in that one game with Mariota, he was 6 for 6 for 98 yards. McLaurin was. So yeah, I don't mind. Yeah, I think I'm gonna lean McLaurin.
Yeah, Kansas City's defense does scare me a little bit though, especially with Mariota at the helm.
I think they're just gonna have to try and keep pace.
Yeah, but so did the Raiders, and they threw for like 70 yards or something. Like Kansas City's defense can do that. Is my only fear, I guess.
Yeah,
I'd go Terry as well, but it's a little scary. No pun intended. Fields or Mariota? I'm going Fields.
Yeah, against
better matchup. Yeah, better matchup. Rushing quarterback. Well, so is Mariota, I guess. But yeah, I'm going Fields. So it looks like we caught up. We've been live for an hour and a half. So we're going to take off. I need to do a couple things before I start working. And appreciate everyone. We'll be live again tomorrow morning, an hour before the games, to get your last minute stuff in. So join us then. And someone trade with me in our listener league redraft because I need to make a move. That team sucks. I really want to trade Jalen Hurts for like a couple pieces, but also people don't really have a couple pieces to trade, you know? It's really hard to trade when you're down bad, you know? Like it's much easier to trade when you're like doing well. I don't know. I guess that's obvious, right? But yeah, any last words there?
No.
Yeah, I should have gotten Scatterboo. I mean, Hurts for Scatterboo and who's the other player?
Flowers.
That would have been a closer trade, probably. But yeah, if I can trade Hurts into something, I mean, I tried to trade Puka last week when I knew he was going to miss last week and be on a bye, but I didn't really get much offers for him. So, like fair offers, I guess. But anyways, we'll see what happens this week. Appreciate everyone, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.